Hello, welcome to this video tutorial for DT Register. On this video, we're going to be uh, simulating a migration from version 2.6 into 2.7. It's a pretty big jump moving into 2.7 as there's lots and lots of changes, tons of new features. There's a lot of database structure changes. Uh, the whole file structure has changed. Um, so we want to make sure you have plenty of help in getting upgraded. Uh, Most versions you just uninstall, reinstall, and you're done. Going from 2.6 to 2.7, you have a couple extra steps. So we're going to walk you through those right here. Inside of the package, once the package you download has unzip in the file name. Of course, you're going to unzip that package. Inside in the Joomla 1.5 directory, you will find a README file. It's very important to actually read the README file. Inside, there's lots of helpful information for you, including step-by-step detailed instructions on upgrading from 2.6 to 2.7. So make sure you follow that. We're going to go through that right here so you can actually watch it also. So use that file as a reference. On this side, we're already logged in. If you see, we go to the install area, you'll find we have 2.6.9 installed. And one of the things mentioned in the README file is you have to be on 268 or 269 first before you can upgrade to 2.7. If you're doing a fresh install of 2.7, you can ignore this video completely and just go straight to 2.7. You don't have to do anything else. If you are upgrading from a previous version from 2.69 or older, then this video is for you. If say you're using 2.6.4 or 2.5 or something really old, you will have to go to 269 first. Inside of the 2.7 package, you will find the install file for 269 with README file instructions. Follow that, get upgraded to 269, go through all the steps and make sure you're solid on 269 before you go into 2.7. It's very important for reasons I'm not going to take time to explain right now. Just do it. Make sure make sure you follow the instructions. Okay, so we already have 269 here. Other thing you need to make sure you do before you go any further, make sure you have your database backed up. Uh, Always good practice to back up the database before you do any big changes. Just a safeguard. You never know what could happen, and you just want to be smart about it. Back up your database. In particular, the DT register tables, which have the JOS underscore DT register prefix. Back those up so you have them just in case something doesn't go well for you. Uh, as of the 2.7.3 package of DT Register, the migration process has been much improved. It should be solid for you, so don't anticipate that you'll have any problems, but just in case, you should have a backup. Also, you want to back up your main.css and your DT Register language files. If you've made any changes to those files, you want to back them up. You cannot reuse those files in the new version, but you'll have the ability to copy and paste some of your customizations into the new file. So it's just a good idea to go ahead and back those up just in case. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to uninstall 269. So select it, uninstall. That's quick and easy. Now that's gone. The files are what's gone. All of your data, all your events, your fields, your records, all of that is still in place in your database. Do not remove that information from your database unless you want to do a clean install. But if you want to migrate your old information, do not remove it from the database. Leave it there, and then we'll go ahead and install the new version. So I'm going to browse. Okay, inside, here's my package that I've unzipped. I'm in the 1.5 folder. There's a README file that you have to read. Um, okay, inside here I've got the COM DT register 273. Of course, here's that 269 folder I was telling you about. That's only needed if you're upgrading from an older version. So Otherwise, just ignore it. Alright, so I'm going to select the COM273 folder. I'm going to upload. You will find that the install of 2.7 takes a little longer than previous versions did. It's just a bigger package, and it has there's just a lot more to it. So see here, it didn't take very long. On some slower servers, it might take a bit. If you do have a problem upgrading it, one of the most common problems is some PHP restrictions, and I'm going to show you that real fast. Help system info. If I go to PHP information, do a search for upload underscore max file size. You can see that here on this side it said it's 72 megabytes. You have to be bigger than 2 megabytes. On some more restricted servers, it's set to 2 megabytes. The new dtRegister package is just a little bigger than that. So if it's set at 2 megabytes, you're not going to be able to install unless you use the upload from directory option of Joomla. So get that change with your web host if you run into an issue. That's the most common issue we've seen people have. Alright, so we've installed. I'm going to go to components here. You can see dtRegister 273. That's the latest package as of the time of making this video. Okay, now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to components, dtRegister. Now you'll see our control panel, which is new in 2.7, which gives you buttons to get to various things. You'll probably see other items added here over time. You got links here to the video tutorials, PDF manual, our forum, ticket system, all that tells you the installed version that you have, so forth, so on. The very first thing you're going to do, this is very important, don't go to your records, don't modify any events, any of that. I mean, you can go and let me just show you why. Going to records. Oh, my name's gone, emails are gone, all tons of missing information. Bad news, right? That's why we're not going to do anything yet. We're going to go first to the control panel, migrate 2.6 records. Your information is not gone. It's just stored in temporary tables right now because since the database structure is so different, all of your old data has to be pulled into the correct location. Doing all of that during the initial install would really overdo some servers. So, all right, we went there. You got the migrate 2.6 records. We're going to click the big button. Okay, you see migration process successfully. That's what you want to see. How long that takes will depend on how much data you have to migrate. So now what we're going to do, going to go into events, and you see you got an event here that was migrated. This is just some test information. Records. You can see I've got the names, the emails, all my information is back. A minute ago you couldn't see it. Now everything is there, including my group members, payment details, all of it's migrated. So the next thing I need to do, I need to go to categories, and on this site there are no categories, so that's a bad example. Sorry about that, but you will see all of your migrated categories will be unpublished. In 2.7 there are new options for the categories such as access level and a published status, so they'll all be unpublished by default, so you need to publish them or you're not going to see any events on your site. That's bad. Configuration, going to go there next, and we're going to resave the configuration. Lots of new parameters. You'll see some different tabs and so forth. You want to go through, check all the parameters. You'll see some new things throughout that are different. Watch the video tutorial on configuration to get familiar with all of the configuration settings. But you need to resave. Now let me show you something. I'm going to save. Oh, I got a red tab here. If you see a red tab, that means there's a problem. I'm going to click the tab. Look here. It looks like I'm missing some stuff. I need a from name and a from email. This was not required in older versions. Now it is. So you need to make sure you fill that in. Also, pay attention to the fact that not only do you have your thanks email, you have a waiting list email to configure, and you have an admin notification email. Make sure these have information. If they don't on the install, then create it. You need a subject, you need a message, or you're going to have failure. You're going to have uh, error messages regarding emails after records are created because you don't have information to email. So, okay, anyway, you can see more about that in the videos. I'm going to go ahead and save. All right, once you see that, you know your settings have been saved. The other thing you need to do, you need to resave your fields and your events. This is just because of all the database changes. You want to make sure everything is set where it needs to be. One thing you're going to notice in the fields, I can see first name, last name, organization, all these things that used to be default fields, they're now regular fields. There are no default and custom. All the fields are together. You can manage all of them. You can order all of them together. You can see you got custom email tags, lots of different changes. Watch the video for custom for the fields, and you'll get familiar with all the changes. What you need to do here, you need to open all the fields, resave them with the new parameters and the way that you want them. Do not assume that you've upgraded and all of your events are going to use fields in exactly the same way that they did before. They might you might need to resave some stuff. Maybe, maybe not. But don't just assume that your events are okay. Open and resave your fields, then go to the events. Open and resave any of your current events. Um, the the most important thing to check is the fields tab, and you're going to make sure that everything is in place the way you want it. Like I said, it's everything's just a little different on the fields, so you want to make sure you got your fields set just the way you want them, and you'll be good to go there. So resave all of your events. Go to permissions. You want to save the permissions. Watch the video to learn more about that. Go to your pay options. Uh, payment is set up a little different. It's much better in 2.7 than previous versions. Watch the video about the pay options to get familiar with that, but make sure you go through and verify, make sure your payment information is loaded in there as needed. Um, Other items here should be just fine from the update, but just, like I said, there's enough changes. You just want to go through, verify everything. This kind of stuff is notated in the README file, but some people ignore that and don't think it's really necessary. Then they have problems. So make sure you do it. You'll be good to go. You can always get to the control panel from any page in the back end. Now we'll get you back to the control panel. Um, Other thing to do, make sure you go to the install area. If you're using our modules, our upcoming events module, which is not on the site right here, or if you're using our EventLeak plugin or the SSL plugin, um, or anything like that, you need to replace them. Uninstall and reinstall the new versions. Also for the Community Builder plugin, the Jom Social plugins, they all have to be replaced. If you're using Junefish, replace all the content element files. Everything related to DT Register needs to be replaced with the new 2.7 versions of them. Otherwise, you're going to have problems. So make sure you update everything. If you run into any problems, you have any questions, obviously, of course, you need to go through, watch all the new video tutorials to get familiar with the new changes. But if you get stuck on anything, check out the forum. Somebody else probably has already been there, and or hit a support ticket, and we'll be happy to help. Hope this was helpful to you, and welcome to 2.7. Thanks.